maintenance type task. I think that what makes it so special is the precision engineering that's gone into the mechanics of it and the control system. There's a computer, and that computer is allowing us to create very fine movements.
Well, we heard about how clever and sensitive Mascot is, so I thought, can it do the really important things in life, like make a cup of coffee? And so far, it seems to be doing not too badly, actually. That's amazing. Don't know who to say thank you to.
And that's because every movement Mascot's making with me is really controlled by a person. Inside this room, with a set of identical arms and 4 cameras, Steve Collins is controlling Mascot's every action.
But no matter how clever Mascot appears at this end, it's really the operator at the controls doing all the work. And because there's no mechanical connection between the two, Mascot could be in the next room, in Scotland, or in space. Here, in a control room 70 metres away from the robot, is the brains of the machine. A person, which is what makes Mascot so special.
Whatever the operator does here, the robot happily copies. So it's like having someone actually in there. A computer makes Mascot mimic the actions of the operator, but it also feeds back exactly what it feels like to do the task. Now, what the designers are hoping is that the operator at this end will eventually forget they're in the control room and feel like they're actually working in the Taurus itself. So, Steve, you were the one that kindly poured my coffee. How is it to work?
It's a lot more comfortable using a Mascot than what it would be to do the same job in a pressurised suit.
Is it easy?
Yes. Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Famous last words. Can I have a go?
Yep, certainly.
Okay, so... Oh, my... I can see I'm going to be really good at this. Well, I meant to go all the way down here. Will you look at that? I have the cup, I have the pot. Coffee about to go in cup. There goes the coffee in the cup. They never thought I could do it. I'm proud of myself, actually. Mascot is crucial in preparing the reactor for the big moment. Fusion.
Philippa at one with robots as ever. Well, following the success of the JET robot, NASA are now planning to use a similar system to carry out repairs in space. And with me to discuss this further is Alan Rolfe. He's in charge of remote handling here at JET. Alan, thanks for joining us. How will NASA be using their robot?
Well, NASA have had a development program for creation of manipulators similar to ours, but for use in space now, for over 10 years. They're interested in using robots or manipulators in space for repair functions and creation of structures, repair of satellites, to replace the astronaut. Whereas today they would stick an astronaut on the end of the robot arm, they would prefer to use robots if they can. You may recall the Hubble telescope repair a few years ago. They'd like to do that using a robot manipulator similar to ours. Their aim is to create a situation by the middle of the next decade, 2004, 2005, where 50% of the work done in space could be done using robots.
How long did it take you to develop the manipulator you have here at JET?
The manipulator was first designed in the late 1960s for a nuclear application. But it had then an analog control system, which was state-of-the-art of that day. We, over the last 10 years, have replaced that with a computer control system to bring it up to date, to improve its performance, but also to improve the range of functions which are now available.
Now, we've seen Philippa doing her best with the manipulator, but what kind of training do you really need to get to grips with it?
Well, surprisingly, very little training if you've got an aptitude. We use our mechanical workshop technicians to operate these devices. That has the advantage they're very familiar with the equipment because they built it and they maintain it. And in addition, many of them, or most of them, have got a natural hand-eye coordination and a good sense of space and where they are. It takes probably 2 or 3 weeks to make them fully familiar with the man-machine interface for the equipment and its features. And from then on, it's just a question of training them on the individual tasks.
And are there other robots in use here?
Yes, the manipulator that we're referring to is a small 2-arm device, and that has to be positioned around inside the JET machine, inside the Taurus. And that's done using a 10-meter